to let's review it. I'm back again with part 2 of a motorcycle sat-nav RAM mount review, specifically RAM mounts for sports bikes. For those of you who didn't see the original review of the TomTom Rider, or the original review that we did on the RAM mount that we've got attached here, you can click on the links below after you've watched this video. So the reason we're back for part 2 is we've fitted the RAM mount to the ZX10, mounted the TomTom Rider. I've had quite a bit of time now to go out and ride in all kinds of conditions, wet and dry, and really I've realised that having it mounted on the tank there is dangerous, if I'm honest. You have to keep looking down, and if you're trying to get a bit of a wriggle on, there's no way that you can keep doing that. So I've been on all the ZX10R forums, and people have assured me that the RAM mount we're going to talk to you today is the answer to all of my problems. So what does that look like? Got it on eBay. Comes with some bolts and a mount, as you'd expect. I'll put the link to this in the description below. I'm going to fit it up now and see how it works, but it actually fits to the nut that retains the steering dampener, so it'd be interesting to see how that fits, whether it has any effects on the steering dampener and the way that works, and if the positioning of the sat-nav is actually usable this time. So here we go. So really the only thing you've got to do is remove and replace this bolt. As you can see, it's not quite a normal Allen key. It's actually got a cutout in the centre there. So you'll need a specific tool to be able to do that. But that's not really an issue. So pop down to Halfords for about 12 quid. You get yourself one of these cheapo kits, and there you go. There's the tool you need. So here you go. I've got my cheapy Halfords tool. Fits in there quite nicely. Probably lasts about 5 minutes. But let's get that bolt out. So it turns out it's torqued up quite tightly, I guess, as you'd expect. So I'm actually going to have to use a socket wrench with an adapter to loosen that off. So here we go. Here's the nut removed. Underneath the actual mount itself was plastic spacer, and you can see there's actually a metal spacer there as well. So you'll need to remember to keep hold of those in case you ever need to put the bike back to standard. So there you can see the mount. So actually ended up going for the shortest bolt. That seems to make the most sense. You can see the plastic spacer, and then right underneath there, I don't know if you can see that, is the metal spacer. So that's just hand tight at the moment. Everything seems to be movable as it should be. The steering dampener seems like it's in the right place. I've not snagged any of the wiring, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up now with a normal Allen key. So as you can see, we're all connected up. So that's where we were, and that's where we are now. It's a big difference. So obviously the angle is a lot better. It now faces up at a very similar angle to the dash. You can see there's no interference. I'm going to have to do something with this wire to stop that from drooping down and getting in the way, I think, but that should be a relatively easy fix. So yeah, absolutely no interference from this on either side. Took a bit of moving around to get it right. Obviously now I'm going to have to rerun this cable through this panel here, so you can see panel gap there. It was actually running through this crease to this mount, but I'm not going to do that anymore. So from a rider's perspective, this is the view that I would get sat in my normal position. So you can clearly see the sat-nav even with a helmet on, and you can see the dash, and your view in front isn't obstructed at all, which is fantastic. So that's where I'd have to have looked before and where we are now. Massive, massive difference. So to all of you guys who've been talking about RAM mounts that replace the bolt through the steering dampener, kudos, you were absolutely right. Hold my hands up. I'm going to go out and road test this, but I do not anticipate any issues at all. So well done, highly recommended. All the links in the description below. Go out and get yourself one. What I will say about this particular RAM mount here is that actually it's fantastic for GoPro. So this is the view that you would get from the RAM mount that's actually mounted on the tank if you're doing a track day. It's actually not that bad. So if you're going to buy a RAM mount for your GoPro, definitely recommend this one. if you're going to buy a mount for your sat-nav, particularly for the ZX10, I recommend this one. Links to both in the description below. Feel free to leave your comments below and let me know how you get on with your own sat-navs. Enjoy, thanks.